7 presents the high school football game of the week. Tonight from Memorial Stadium on the campus of A.L. Brown, it's the A.L. Brown Wonders of Kannapolis hosting the Trojans from Northwest Cabarrus. A very excited good evening from Memorial Stadium tonight. Along with Woody Kane, I'm Randy Whitley. The playoff atmosphere is here because it is do or die for Northwest.
It really is, Randy. They already have 2 conference losses. There is no scenario in which they can lose another game and still make the playoffs. So for all intents and purposes, the playoffs begin tonight for Northwest.
And for Kannapolis, of course, a victory would assure them at least one of the playoff positions. West Rowan appears to be in the driver's seat right now for that number 1 seed.
Well, they really are, and that's the thing. Northwest may have a little bit more of a desperation type edge on tonight's game. Kannapolis, if they happen to lose tonight, they've still got another chance. For Northwest, there is no tomorrow.
Well, we've summarized this game. Let's talk a little bit about X's and O's and offensive and defensive line play. You know it's always going to be one in the trenches.
It really is, and Kannapolis has a fine one. Lee Basinger just named to the Shrine Bowl team this week. He's had an outstanding year, and that'll be job 1 for Northwest, to keep him blocked tonight because they must be able to pass. The teams that have given Kannapolis trouble this year are the teams that are able to be effective throwing the ball. So that's going to be job 1.
And special teams has always been a strong point of the Wonders year after year, but we've got some news just a few minutes ago.
We really do. We just found out that Rush Rollins, the kicker for Kannapolis, hurt his knee playing a soccer game yesterday. He will not start tonight, and Steve Gann will have a little bit more on that in just a moment with the interview with Coach Massey.
So it really puts a little bit more pressure on the kicking game for the Wonders.
It does, and it puts pressure on all the special teams. You know, you don't want any other breakdowns now that you've got one guy down. It's going to be key. It always is. Special teams decides games.
And besides, these 2 teams are arch rivals, too. Throw all that stuff into the scenario. We've got a lot more to talk about. Our pregame continues. Northwest meeting A.L. Brown coming up. Back at Memorial Stadium just minutes before tonight's opening kickoff, and Steve Gann earlier caught up with head coach Glenn Patchett of the Northwest Cabarrus Trojans. These were his comments just a few minutes ago.
Thanks, Randy. Glenn, he backs to the wall. It's down to it.
Yeah, but you know, by the same token, we're excited about the opportunity to be up here at A.L. Brown High School, and you know, our kids are excited about playing.
Glenn, you've had a good week of hard practice, a beautiful week of weather-wise, and everything's been said, everything's been talked about. What's the last thoughts, and what's the last thing you tell your team before they hit the field?
Have fun, play hard, don't worry about making mistakes, enjoy the moment, and just go out, have fun, play. That's more than anything else. That's what you can tell right now, because you get to this point, you know, all the tricks are out of the bag. You can't really say anything else. All the stories have been told. It's a matter of the kids going out and playing and executing.
Glenn, over the last couple of weeks, your offense has really cranked it up. You guys are averaging better than 45 points per game. What have you done different?
I think the biggest thing that we've done is we've made a commitment to run and pass the ball. We got in a mode probably 3 or 4 weeks ago where we got away from the running game a little bit too quickly. And we went back and made a commitment to do both, run and pass, and it's what's made it is what makes our offense effective if we're able to do both. Needless to say, Kannapolis poses a challenge for that because they've got a great run defense, and they've got a number of players in the secondary that can pick balls off. They got a kid that has 8, and they got a kid that has 4, and they got another kid I think that has 6. So, you know, there's big challenges in both of those areas.
You know, both schools are neighbors. I know you don't have to motivate your kids. They're ready. When they come to Kannapolis or when Kannapolis comes to Northwest, I know both teams are ready. What's the thoughts around the school? What's people thinking?
Well, I think, you know, first of all, our players and our community is excited. And, you know, our players know that for us to have an opportunity tonight to be successful, we've got to play extremely hard, limit our mistakes, take advantage of their mistakes if they, in fact, make any. And again, you know, we've said it. The bottom line for us tonight is 48 minutes, 100%. Have fun, play hard.
There you go. We're looking forward to a good ball game. I know we'll see one. Good luck to you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay, Glenn. Thank you. Okay, Randy, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. A.L. Brown 5-1 in the conference entering tonight's game. Northwest Cabarrus 4-2. We talked about how critical that win is. A win also critical for A.L. Brown as their playoff chances very much alive. And earlier, Steve Gann caught up with head coach Rod Massey.
Thanks, Randy. We're here with Coach. Coach, you've so far a great year. Tough game tonight. Northwest got a real good team.
Well, it's going to be a great game, and I think our kids are excited about playing in that atmosphere, and I know theirs are. Coach Padgett's done an outstanding job over there, and it's going to be a great game for the fans, and you guys on cable will enjoy it also, I think.
Well, we've had some good games. I think we've had 3 in a row overtime games. Maybe it won't go to that tonight, but I know it's going to be a good game. I got to ask you about one of your kids got hurt this past week. Rush Rollins, is he out?
Yeah, Rush will not play tonight. We don't know how long the extent of his injury. We'll go back next week and evaluate it. David Henry will do our extra points. David's practiced all year. He kicked 2 extra points for us last week in the win, so we feel pretty comfortable with him going out there doing that. The only thing, Rush probably might give us a little bit of disadvantage on long field goals.
Okay, Coach, got to ask you about Lee Basinger. Boy, he's had a great year, and congratulations to him being selected to the Shrine team.
Well, it is a great honor for him and for the team and for Kannapolis football. I think it just represents the fact that this school has a great football program, and he'll be a fine representative of that program in Charlotte during that week time. And it's like I told our kids, you always feel like there's somebody else that should be on there, but unfortunately, there can only be so many selected. And we're going to wish Lee the best of luck and all the Cabarrus County athletes and our athletes from the South Piedmont Conference.
And we understand that Josh Lee didn't play last week. Is Josh okay?
Yeah, he's fine. It was a situation where he probably could have played, but we opted just to hold him out, give it a little bit more time to heal, and tonight I think he's ready to go.
Coach, I think every question's been asked about tonight's game, about football all week. Last-minute preparation, last-minute details. What do you tell your kids?
Well, I don't think you can tell them anything at this point. You feel like hopefully everything's done by Wednesday. When you walk off the field Wednesday, that's when you need to have everything taken care of. But we're looking forward to tonight. Again, it's a pressure-packed game. It's like a playoff atmosphere. It's going to be a playoff game basically for both teams, and so hopefully our kids go out there and respond to the pressure and play well tonight.
Okay, Ron, thanks for talking to us, and good luck tonight.
Okay, guys, appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, Randy, back to you.
That's the tone of the coaches, and those guys, I'm not sure what that is. That's a link from the Mod Squad, I think, down there. Anyway, we'll be back to have the coin toss, the opening kickoff in just a minute. Co-captains making their way to the 50-yard line, and we're going to go field side right now.
Right here, number 12. There's Josh Wood and the friends. Put your back over there, okay? White has won the toss. So receive here and shake hands again. Let's be ready.
As I said, that was one of those preliminary tosses before the game. They already knew what was going on.
Yeah, they kind of tricked us there. We thought they were going to go out there and throw the coin. They've already done that.
It's kind of like they do in the pros, you understand?
I feel cheated.
Well, at least we knew who got the ball.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So Northwest will have their hands on it first, and that is a good defense, I guess, against the Wonders if you're Northwest Cabarrus, hoping to do a little ball control and get something going early in this game.
And I think that's going to be a big key, Randy. You heard Coach Padgett telling Steve Gant there, they've gone back to what had them being very successful in the early part of the season. That is mixing the run and pass very effectively. He mentioned that he felt like they had gotten a little pass heavy during their losing streak there. They lost a couple of games in a row, but they've been mixing things up very well over the past couple of weeks and averaging almost 45 points a game over the past 2. As a matter of fact, 2 games ago, Shelton Roseboro had a 200-yard game against East Rowan. That was a career high, so that shows you they're trying to mix it well. They'll also try tonight to do a lot of what we saw them do against Central Cabarrus, do a lot of shifting around after they break the huddle to try and get Kannapolis out of position.
be Michael Anthony, number 3, the 6'1", 180-pound senior, who's will be kicking this one off. And back deep, a speed merchant, and the likes of number 6, Philip Jackson, the 5'10" junior, standing back at about the 5-yard line for the Northwest Cabarrus Trojans. Jackson, look at this, 4.5 speeds, and we've seen him return several excellent kickoffs this season. Fans on their feet, we've talked about it, and hey, let's go hit somebody.
Here we go.
They kick away from Jackson, going to be fielded at about the 15-yard line by one of the Trojans, and Northwest will maneuver out to about the 25, 26-yard line. That's where the offense onto the field for the first time. Let's meet those probable offensive and defensive starters.
Well, as the Trojans come out to set up just across the 25-yard line there, you're going to look there at their line. Carpenter, Dry, Austin, Mantooth, and Wortman. Mantooth there, an all-county player a year ago, and probably will be again. Woodham passed already for 1,000 yards. Roseboro over 800 yards rushing so far. Monty, Zach, Blake, and Godwin. And we'll check out the Kannapolis defense in just a moment.
Northwest will shift to a slot on the left, twin backs out of the I formation. Woodham at quarterback and a wide receiver to the right. And then we'll go straight up the gut and yardage out to the 35-yard line. Roseboro, who's carried for over 800 yards already this season, has a good carry on first down. Here's the way the Wonders shake out defensively.
And as we mentioned, Lee Basinger there headed to the Shrine Bowl. He's had just a spectacular season. And then as we look at the linebackers and secondary crew, McClure, White, Lipscomb, Gibson, Collins with 8 interceptions. Fox has 4, so they know about picking the ball out of the air. And they're measuring for the first down now. Looks like he's going to be just shy.
Not far, as the referee tonight is Mr. Tom Broach. He'll be making the calls. And
that might have been Monty on that carry, Randy.
I thought I saw 26, though.
You might be right.
So second and a luxury here, less than a yard for Northwest, just shy of their own 37-yard line.
And there's the shift we talked about, trying to get Kannapolis to move and see if they can take advantage of it.
Zach moves out of the backfield into a slot on the right side there, and it will be, who's got the ball? The first back through that time. They'll have the first down, and that was Monty that time carrying the football.
And he does pick up the first down. Nice play. And you see, one of the things that we've noticed, Randy, over the course of the season is the excellent job that Ryan Woodham does executing fakes. A lot of guys just do that half-heartedly. You want to make the defense commit. You don't have to make them fall down. You just want to make them move one way or another, or even lean the way you want them to go, and that's all it takes.
2 wideouts this time on first down and 10. Well, I spoke too soon, didn't I? Giving them a little extra look there, a little extra something to think about. From the 38-yard line, pass out of the flat, complete, and out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Joe Godwin, Mr. Dependable over there. That is now 36 catches on the season for that young man. He's got more catches than the Kannapolis team has completed as a whole this year. That shows you the difference between the offenses.
And he's had a good year, Randy. He's got good size, 6'2", 175 pounds. He's not a speed burner, a guy who's going to run by you and catch the 70-yard bomb, but he is a possession receiver, and he's got sure hands.
And it's hard to cover a little pass pattern out there. The way Woodham is so accurate, and as he will shift to the gun this time on 2nd and 3 at the 45. And they'll hand it to the running back. Shaking a tackle. First down, midfield, down to the Wonder 49-yard line goes Roseboro. Northwest offense executing well. Duran Lipscomb, first guy defensively there.
You know, Randy, when you shift into the shotgun formation, the defense naturally thinks pass, and the Northwest comes back with a little draw delay right up the middle there to get Roseboro the first down, just across midfield.
Another first down for the Trojans, who've eaten up 90 seconds here and move the ball.
Did you see that guy beside Glenn Padgett? Looks like he was working on the grass over there.
You know, I guess it gets in your system. You just
not even his field.
Well, you know, you gotta love it. They'll hand off to Roseboro. He'll go for about 2 off the right side that time. Hitting him first was Chad Keller for the green and white of A.L. Brown.
And again, this is when Northwest is most effective, Randy, when they can keep you guessing, when they can come at all different angles, shift around, get you wondering what they're going to do, and that's when they're most effective. And as Coach Padgett was telling Steve in the pregame interview, they had gotten too pass happy over the past couple of games before these last two that they started to be more effective. They want to get you in a position where you have no idea what's coming.
On second down from the Wonder 47-yard line, Woodham fakes it, and he gives it off to Monty, and Monty almost another first down. Down by the Wonder 40-yard line he goes. Lipscomb on the tackle. You got to wait just a minute to make sure who's got the ball.
And Monty kind of an unsung hero on this team, Randy. He's just steady, does his job. He'll catch a big pass for you every now and again, and that's just a solid, dependable type guy that every coach loves to have.
And Quiet's almost 600 yards rushing the football this year. At the 40-yard line, third and short. They will flop Zach over to the left side.
This sounds like some new video game, Flop Zach.
It's like it's in the game. And there's a first down for the Trojans as Woodham elects to keep it and goes to the Kannapolis. We're going to say his knee went down. They didn't give him the spot there. That's where the knee went down. So at the 39-yard line, close enough for a measurement, and we'll get these guys maybe in early, you know.
Oh, this is going to be awfully close as they come out and take a look at it here. As he was trying to follow Woodham was Greg Wortman. Looks like he got it.
Well, they're playing with a long football tonight, too, so that helps. The Wonder sidelines, coaching staff. So another first down.
You see Coach Massey in the mix there. Looking pretty calm.
Yeah. That's early. 8:20 to go, first period. Northwest in the first drive of the game. They set it down at the Wonder 39-yard line. And it'll be nothing there. Lipscomb meeting Roseboro and pushes it back. No gain on the play, perhaps a loss of a yard.
Well, Lipscomb did the work, and then Prince McCoy did the celebrating after that play. He said, he's got him. I'm going to go over here and try and get the crowd into it. But Northwest, Randy, using up almost all the play clock every time. And Woodham, the way he spun around that time, I think somebody zigged when they were supposed to zag back there because he had to, it looked like he had to go an awful long way on that turn and reach to get the ball to the back.
They'll work it on second and 11 now. Look at this. Trips to the bottom. Woodham not even looking that way. On the slant and behind Godwin. We've seen that play so much, they kind of spread the defense out. You got Trips way on one side, and then they go to number 85. And they would have had him if the pass had been on the money.
Now they had 5 receivers in the pattern. Charlie Fox on the coverage, and watch, as you mentioned, a pass behind him, and Charlie Fox really laid a pop on him.
Fox, a 5'11", 160-pound junior, but he hits harder than that.
And now this is what Kannapolis wants, to get Northwest in positions where they know what's going to come.
They fake the blitz, and here they come. Woodham going deep on the fly. He's got a man out, and it's picked. The Wonders with the interception. Chris Gibson played the ball all the way and will get the Wonders ball possession back at the 16-yard line.
I know some people have been kind of critical of this Wonders secondary, but man, they know something about taking it away from you. Take a look at it again. The 3 receivers at the bottom, and now you'll see sneaking up there, coming on the blitz is going to be Clifford White. They pick him up well, but just excellent defense back there by Gibson.
David Zach, the intended receiver. So the Wonder offense out on the field for the first time. Josh Lee, the senior, with the one setback. And that one setback, and they did not get the hand on the ball. Lee kept it. I think rather than risk the fumble.
He was trying to hand the ball off, and it kind of got twisted around in there, and Josh just did the smart thing and took one for the team.
We'll set the offensive and defensive lineups for you here in just a second. Waters actually lose a yard back to the 15.
And I think the officials are stopping the play for a second. Now they're squared away.
So the Wonders offense takes over, but Northwest they shortened the game somewhat. They took over 5 minutes off the clock. Here's the running play off the left side. Back to about the original line of scrimmage. Northwest there waiting. Now we'll look at those lineups for you.
Barrier, Tuttle, Crosby, Davis, and Allen Overcash along the line. Lee, Carter, Caldwell, Anthony, Allison, and Abercrombie, the skill players. Austin, Watson, and Reed, the three-man front for the Trojans. Then they'll have the 5 linebacker set with Wyatt, Weller, Hill, Tedder, Turner, Zach, Jackson, and Smith. And it's a fine secondary for this Northwest Cabarrus Trojan team. They know something about taking it away from you and laying the wood to you as well.
Lee options out. Here's Dale King with a great block on the corner. He'll be short of the first down at about the 22-yard line. Sean Turner came up to make the hit for Northwest Cabarrus, but that was a crushing blow on the corner, and Dale King had some room to run.
Now check out Turner right there. Just gets enough of the leg to trip him up, and Northwest gets the ball right back.
So 3 and out, Anthony on the punt. Standing back in around the 10-yard line. So Northwest should get good field position.
Brandon Smith is back deep for Northwest, and he is just across his 40.
Dangerous punt returner too. You're just a skilled guy.
He's multi-talented. He does a lot of things very well for this team.
Good snap, no pressure, and Anthony booms it.
Man.
At the 35-yard line. Here comes Brandon Smith up the middle. Returns it to about the 48, 49-yard line. So Northwest with excellent field position for their second offensive set of the night. And they're jawing back and forth a little bit.
No, and there go the flags now, and we knew this was going to start. The officials are not going to tolerate anything here early on. They're sending a message right away. They're not going to take any foolishness off players from either team. I was about to say, Smith made a nice choice there because the Kannapolis coverage had gotten behind the Northwest blocking and were all over Smith, and he picked the right hole, was able to get close to midfield, but now they're going to turn that away. Now, Randy, this is a hole. It's going to be a double, yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them against Northwest and Kannapolis. Wow. Those offset, but the hold will stand, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's see if we can. Now, this is what we're talking about here, the John, and that's when we saw the other flag come out.
Durant Lipscomb was saying something, and the Northwest player was saying, "You got my face mask" or something. So I don't know. You know, so that's one way to stop it early.
It winds up wiping out the return that Brandon Smith made because that's about where he caught it.
Yeah. So you figure the 10-yard penalty. Move it back to the 39-yard line. So with 4:52 to go in the first period, now I think we're ready to go. Northwest will take over, first down and 10. No score. High formation as you glance in at Woodham. You'll hand it off to the tailback, and Roseburg got about 3. Looked like penetration that time. Prince McCoy, who's played like a king this year, we understand.
He really has, Randy. He's not a real tall guy. He's got pretty good size at almost 200 pounds, but he's only 5'8".
Low center of gravity.
Yeah, he can bring it to you, no question.
Godwin splits to the top of your screen. He wears 85. I'll keep an eye on him. Now they'll move a little wing over on the right. And it will be Woodham keeping the football, but he'll have to take one for the team. The Wonder defense, relentless. Durant Lipscomb just came like a train that time through the middle.
Well, they fooled everybody but one guy, and that was enough. Duran was the one who got him, and he has good speed, Randy. He's got 4.5 speed himself. You see here, it looks like he's going to have time, and then all of a sudden, here comes Lipscomb blasting through.
Good secondary coverage there, because Woodham obviously pretty good at getting rid of the football.
Yeah, and he had a few seconds to look downfield. Now they've got to get his pads adjusted. Yeah. There's Jimmy Gilworth down there making sure that everything is in the proper place.
I mean, I've heard of just stripping the guy, but I mean, you know, with a tackle, that he literally did that.
And the officials have stopped the clock to give him time to adjust those pads for safety reasons.
Yeah, it's certainly something you wouldn't penalize a team. Well, let's see. They're going to make him sit out of play?
It looks that way.
Or do they burn a timeout?
No, because if they did that, they would let him come back, right?
Well, let's see who's going to be the quarterback. Looks like
Smith.
I think I saw Brandon come in. I bet he didn't think you'd be doing this tonight.
Kannapolis is loading up at the line of scrimmage, Randy. They're coming after him.
Showing 8 guys in the box. And whoa, that one's just all out of calibration there. Somebody moved. A bunch of folks moved, so that could go against Northwest. And referee Brock makes the call. Illegal procedure against Northwest. That'll be another 5. Well, this originally started about the 49. Then we had the holding call. Now we had a loss, quarterback sack, and now we've got another call. And with that, it might have been a wise thing to do. Take 5 for the team, and now Woodham's back into the backfield, quarterback.
But the only problem is they got to get to midfield for a first down.
It's 3rd and forever. And they'll run it on the ground. Flags are down, and actually the guy was blocking for Roseboro. Godwin was there along with David Austin. They made the tackle at about the 36-yard line.
Well, let's see what the penalty is. It's going to be a hold against Northwest, and Kannapolis may decline it.
Or do they want field position? That's another 10 yards. Yeah, they're going to decline it. They want the football. So, punt team on for Northwest Cabarrus with 3:01 left here in the opening period. Jason Brown, dangerous return man, back at about the Wonder 45-yard line.
And he's going to drift a little bit further back because when he started going out there, they had the ball placed like they were going to mark off the penalty. So Northwest is going to take advantage of the gain that Roseboro made.
He's back at about the 30 now. They kick it away from Brown. It hits and takes a great Trojan roll down the sidelines and will be marked out of bounds at about the 23. So Kannapolis 3 and out, their first possession, on for the second time. Let's see if they can get anything productive started here.
Well, and, you know, kind of a surprise that it's been a defensive struggle early. Not that these teams don't have good defenses, but these are 2 high-powered offenses out here. Kannapolis is averaging over 35 points per game, and we mentioned that Northwest has been scoring at a 45-point-per-game clip over the past couple.
The lone setback will be Dale King behind Josh Lee. Well, that changes as they'll send Chris Carter back there. And flags are down before the play gets underway. I think somebody was in the wrong position. Now, he's talking like he had a microphone. We could have mic'd him tonight.
Yeah, we should have. At any rate, both teams having a problem here now, getting set offensively. They're both just having penalties right and left.
So that'll push it back to about the 18-yard line. 1st and 15 for Kannapolis with 2:37 to go. First quarter, no score. Right now, it's been Northwest with the advantage of field position tonight. Pressure coming. Lee over the middle. Hits his receiver out of the backfield. Eric Caldwell shakes a tackle and is bumped out of bounds over across the far away at around midfield.
Philip Jackson finally got him down, but a great job to stand in there under some pressure from Josh Lee. Watch coming up the middle here.
Just right in the only area they could have thrown the football.
That was Marco Reed giving him some heavy heat there, and credit Josh Lee with a nice play to stand in there under some pressure and deliver the ball.
10th catch of the year, or actually the 7th catch of the year for Caldwell. Back to the run, and it'll be King hitting the middle up to about midfield for a couple. Back with authority. So the Wonders gained that field position back on one play.
And you know, Josh Lee, we saw him come in last year, Randy, and show us a lot of arm strength. He has nice touch on the deep ball, but there he showed you he can also take a little something off of it to deliver the soft pass when that is required.
Second down from midfield. Well, he's going to carry it. And got about 2 to the Northwest 48-yard line. Lee rushing for over 300 yards. Craig Weller there defensively for Northwest, but Lee not afraid to take off and run with it.
Yeah, and I don't know that that's what he wanted to do, Randy. It looked like that was sort of a busted play maybe there, because he looked like that wasn't what he was looking for. He didn't look like that was his first choice anyway. But people forget Josh Lee was a linebacker of all-state caliber, had 130-some tackles a year ago, and he's a big guy too, 6'3", 210 pounds, so he can lay it to you.
Pass complete. Carter shakes through a couple of defenders and will be near a first down at the Northwest 42-yard line. Dustin Wyatt on the tackle, and Carter looks like he's shaking up.
He sure does, but looks like he's going to get up and hopefully be okay. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him here. It almost looked like he was thinking about a pass for just a second, but maybe he was just trying to tuck the ball up.
I'm not looking from our angle. I don't know if that was a pass.
No, it was a lateral, definitely.
You get Carter out one-on-one. He's looking in the neck area. So he may have jammed it when he came down on the tackle or hit somebody. It is enough to move the chains, however, so Kannapolis will pick up another first down inside a minute to go here. Period number 1. First down at the 41. And they'll give it to King. He's up. Got to about the 35-yard line. The big fullback rumbling, and he's been an added addition to Coach Massey's arsenal this year. Roland Hill on the tackle. We watched the play again.
A nice seam up the middle. They almost got him stopped in the backfield, but he was able to run through it and make nice yardage, and it gives Kannapolis a second and short. Probably be the last play of the quarter.
At the 35-yard line, they need 4. Here's Lee to the air. Slant complete, 30, breaking a tackle. To the 26-yard line is Andre Allison, and a flag in addition to that.
Might be a face mask.
Boy, he is so quick. He's the leading receiver. He's the Godwin of Kannapolis. You know, that's the go-to guy out there.
The flag came in during the tackle, so let's see if they're going to call a face mask here.
That'll be attacked on at the point, so that's a big break.
Well, still 5 seconds left in the quarter, and that penalty stops the clock.
Move it all the way down to the 13-yard line, so Kannapolis in the red zone. And the first serious threat of the game by either team.
Northwest, Randy, starting to pile up a ton of penalties right about now. And there you see the signal again, the face mask call on the tackle of Allison.
And nope, they will not get the playoff, so they'll walk it down to the other end. 12 minutes in the books, no score, but Kannapolis is in a threatening position. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, we thought the quarter was over. Obviously, it wasn't. The clock showing 3 zeros up there, Woody, but there were still a few seconds left. Kannapolis ran a play, and all kinds of bizarre penalties happened on that play.
Yeah, they got a hold and a personal foul penalty, and look, they're all the way back to the 40 now after being deep in the red zone.
It's 1st and 37, and officially 1 second to go now in the quarter, although here's Lee on the quarterback keeper, trying to get around the end, and they just wrestling to the ground after about 1 yard, maybe 2 yards on the carry. I'm not going to go away yet. Let's make sure the quarter's over with here.
I think it is.
Okay, they are going to move the football. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, there you see, not a seat, well, 1 seat to be had. I think he's probably going down for an explanation of those penalties there. And what's going on? He's going to ambush the clock operator tonight. Well, Wonders have it 2nd and 36 now, the 39-yard line.
And you might wonder why they're so far back. The holding penalty happened during the play. The personal foul happened after the play, so both were enforced.
Toss it this time to Brown. He's going to throw it. Receiver, Allison, tip, incomplete. Good battle down there. Back was Brandon Smith, who played the ball all the way, teaming up with David Zag. They had Allison open for just a minute.
Actually, they had him open by a few steps, Randy, and if he could have gotten this ball a little bit deeper, the Wonders probably had a touchdown on this one. Jason Brown just left it a little bit short because Allison certainly had gotten behind the defense, and on a play like that, that's what you expect. The defensive backs read run and come up even a step or two, or even if they just stop, that gives Allison enough time to run by him 3 or 4 yards.
They'll have 3 wide receivers this time on 3rd down. And they give it to Brown. He's around the right side, not very far. Shakes a tackle. Second effort. I'll tell you what, he's elusive. And finally,
the ball's loose now.
The whistle did blow, though. Well, the referee's thinking not.
Boy, somebody came up there like a cannonball and knocked it out at the very end, but the whistle had already blown.
The referee was over there trying to separate him before somebody lost a limb.
It was amazing. It was amazing that Jason Brown was able to get away, because it looked like Northwest had him for a 1 or 2 yard loss, and now Kannapolis wants a timeout.
11:26 to go in the first half. It's been bizarre. We've had more penalties. I think we have rushing yardage tonight. And if you think this week is wild, wait till next week. We got that Bell game, huh?
Yeah, Headliners live on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. We'll have Ron Massey from A.L. Brown and E.Z. Smith from Concord to talk about the battle for the Bell. And it'll be the last time for a while that'll be a conference game. Understand next year they'll play, I believe it's the 4th game of the year next season.
Yeah, it'll still be a big game.
Always a good one.
Longest continuous series in the state of North Carolina. Who knows? Maybe in the country. We'll do some research on that. But
we'll get our crack staff to check that out and have our research team jump right on that one.
Speaking of Headliners, that is the 19th year of Headliners, and as far as I know, it was the original, the only live coaches call-in show.
There you go.
High school variety. So
the Northwest staff now trying to get their defense lined up correctly. And Kannapolis is going for it on 4th and a million.
4th and 29. Caldwell, the lone setback, and Lee straight drop. Pumps once, goes deep, got 3 receivers, and this one is going to be complete. The touchdown Wonders making the catch. Maurice Edwards. Where did he come from?
Well, how did it get through? It looked like that Brandon Smith had it picked off. I can't believe it got through.
We'll have to watch that one on the replay. Deflection. We had 3 receivers in that vicinity, and it looked like Zach had the interception, or at least the knockdown.
What a devastating play. Look at this. He had it, and he collided with Philip Jackson, and it came out.
His own man knocked the ball loose, and then Edwards just caught it. What a way to score. I've never seen that happen in football. David Henry, the new extra point guy, on to try a big extra point here. Good snap, spot hole. Henry's kick is good. So with 11:19 to go in the first half, the Wonders jump out on top, 7-0. Well, Halloween comes early, I guess, here to Memorial Stadium. Trick or treat, and that time it was the treat for the Wonders on the deflected pass. Edwards just happened to be there. It looked like they practiced that all year.
What a bizarre play. I mean, you got 4th and 29, and it looks like Northwest gets the interception, and then Philip Jackson was back there trying to help, and he and Brandon Smith collided. The ball popped loose, and Johnny on the spot was Maurice Edwards for a touchdown.
You won't see a stranger touchdown with that.
And Edwards played quarterback last week when we mentioned that Josh Lee was out.
Pumped up. They'll drive it back to the 2-yard line. Here's Jackson coming out with it in a hurry. Oh, he almost broke that tackle, and there was only one guy back, and that was the kicker to save him from the end zone, John Weber. Here we see the touchdown again.
Pump fake to freeze the defenders, and right there he's got it. But then he comes down and collides with Philip Jackson, and the ball just escapes. And right there to reel it in was Maurice Edwards. That is just bizarre.
You can watch a lot of football games and probably never see that again.
Now, Brandon Smith didn't quite come down with possession of the ball, but had he come down with both feet, that would have been 2 turnovers.
Yeah, you're
on
exactly
one play.
right. Drives the stat guys crazy. Play fake. Nope, they're going to run it. And out to the 41-yard line. Northwest with a good job of deception. Jason Brown on the tackle of Roseboro. A little bit extracurricular things going on. Some frustration perhaps coming out right now.
I think Shelton felt like they were working him over a little bit after the play. See if you can tell here. He's trying to get free. Oh, I see. They picked him up, and he felt like they dumped him on his head there at the end of that play after the thing was winding down.
This looked like Shelton had an attempted stiff arm there, the would-be tackler, and he missed that one. So 10:35 to go in the first half. Clock now starts on 2nd down. They'll go to the first back through and maybe a yard for Pawnee. That's about it.
Lipscomb was there. A couple of other wonders were there, and you see.
We can almost see the play diagram here now.
Yeah.
They know what's coming up. Now, X's and O's, okay?
There's the O's.
Now, if you had your telestrator, Woody, we'd be in business here.
I gotta get me one of those. Gotta get me one of those tiger suits from Northwest, or rather from Mount Pleasant.
Now, you see Adam Stricker over there on the right. Now, he's intently. He better be listening. He's holding the board.
Well, that's an important job. You got to have a board holder.
You expect him to know the play, too.
Yeah. Big play here.
Third and short. Third and 2. It's a long 2. Out of the bone. Or, excuse me, out of the shotgun. Here's Woodham. Backside pressure. Protection breaks down, and he'll go down. Second sack of the night by the Wonder defense of Woodham.
First guy through was Jarrell McRae, but then I think coming up to finish him off was Chad Keller, number 79 there. Let's see. Now, Woodham doesn't see McRae until right there, and it was close to a face mask, but he didn't get a hold of it, so the officials don't call it. But McRae, definitely the guy who broke up the play.
He's 6'7", 207 pounds. One of those senior leaders out there on defense, so that will force Northwest into another punt. Jason Brown back at about the 25-yard line. There you see him. And Brandon Smith gets another good toe into this one. Fair catch signaled for and made. That's a tough one to handle. It didn't turn over. It just came down like a missile there.
Both punters have been blistering the ball.
Up above the light standards. Hang time. We didn't bring our stopwatch tonight, but that one was up there.
That one turned over just like it's supposed to and had a nice spiral on it. So the Wonder defense comes out, puts a 3-and-out on Northwest and gets the ball right back.
Woody, Halloween coming up. The only thing we don't have is a full moon. Has this first quarter been kind of strange?
It really
conventional football, has it?
Well, both these teams, you don't expect to see the amount of penalties we saw from them in the first quarter there, and then you saw Northwest start off and drive deep into Kannapolis territory, only to come up empty.
Okay, with a little cross-bunch action this time. Flags are down, and Caldwell out to the 20.
And now more pushing and shoving, and I think another flag may have come in at the end of that one.
To say these two teams are competitive, maybe an understatement.
Caldwell trying to find some room there. He didn't have much room to get through because Roland Hill was right there. And we saw Roland just have a spectacular game against South Moran. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah. Early in the season.
Now let's see what...
Hold the call against Kannapolis, so they'll step it off from the infraction. That'll be 10 more yards back the other way.
And I don't think we're done seeing a lot of yellow flags flying in this one, Randy, because there was a lot of pushing and shoving and jawing after that play. Check it out here. Caldwell coming back, and there's Roland Hill trying to wrestle him down, and they get him there, and then there's some more. And then after that, there was a little bit more pushing and shoving.
I'm just glad this is not basketball. Everybody would be fouled out by now.
Yeah, they really would.
Lee keeps it. Great fake. Gets him out of a hole to the 25-yard line.
And he took a pop at the end of that, but nice play. And he had a huge seam on the right side. Watch this. They've been faking this the whole time, but they've been giving it to the up the middle back. And then Lee goes on and carries out the fake. Well, that time he kept the ball.
And they were respecting Carter because he was the pitch man back there. And Steve Ginn could have ran through that hole.
Well, I don't know. He's lost 4 or 5 steps.
May not have big yardage, though. Pump fakes. Now he waits. Now he recocks and goes deep. Overthrown. Chris Carter had a couple of steps.
At least. And I think he may have lost the ball for just a second, Randy, because he looked like he looked over one shoulder and then another shoulder, and by the time he picked it up, it was too late. Look at that. Nice execution there. Look at Josh Lee. See how I don't think he realized where the ball exactly was until the last moment.
I don't think Josh Lee realizes his own strength either. He did. That's not his longest throw.
Well, that was a gun.
Now it's 3rd down and 4 at the 25-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground and have the first down. Second effort. Dale King slung to the ground at the 34-yard line, but not before the Wonders will move the sticks with 7:45 to go in the first half.
Roland King slung him down, and again, Randy, it looked like Northwest had him stacked up here at the line of scrimmage, but he just fights through it. And there's the first down.
He is a hard running back. Him and Carter got just great balance in the backfield. They run hard. You gotta like Glenn Padgett was saying, we got to tackle.
And Randy, this is a little more wide open than we've seen the Kannapolis offense this year. They have been more run-oriented than they had been earlier under the Bruce Harden administration.
Lee looking to the air now, tucks it and runs it and gets crunched at about the 39-yard line.
And this is something we haven't seen a whole lot of. Twinkle toes action from Josh Lee out here.
Hardly twinkle toes of that size.
Yeah, look at him here running around. I mean, you know, and you worry a lot of times about your quarterback taking a beating, but Josh Lee, he's used to this kind of contact. As we mentioned, being a linebacker last year.
He's loving it, actually.
Yeah, he hadn't had a chance to hit many people this year, so he's probably enjoying it.
After, this is their 10th game of the year, a lot of frustration, I guess.
Yeah.
Pick up a 5 on the play. They fake the toss, will go on the right side, and up the gut is Chris Carter, and loses his balance at about the Northwest 43-yard line. Carter knew he had end zone written all over that one.
I think Brandon Smith may have gotten a shoestring there as he tried to make a move to get by him, but nice execution again, Randy. They had everything flowing left, come back up to the right side with Chris Carter right here, and look at the hole. And right there, Smith got just enough of the ankle to get him down.
Carter with over 700 yards. You got him, you got Caldwell 600 yards, King 429. You got 3 running backs of 2,000 yards almost. Lee with a play fake in the roll. Hungs it down the right side, complete. Wonder first down. Allison on the catch. That is his 12th catch of the year.
And I don't remember a game this year, Randy, where the Wonders have looked to pass so often. They are really mixing their plays well.
You think Coach Massey's kind of took the governors off the offense here?
And Northwest wants a timeout to talk about it because they are definitely back on their heels.
Momentum on the side of that young man's team, the Hale Brown Wonders. 6:07 left, first half. Kannapolis on top, 7-0. Metro 7, glad to be bringing it to you this week. Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane, Steve Gantt, the entire crew. And the Wonders are moving that football right now on this drive. 1st and 10 at the Northwest 29-yard line. And Lee will keep it. He fakes to the running back and falls for about 3.
Well, Coach Glenn Padgett, a smart time out there because his defense was reeling. Kannapolis has definitely gotten the high-octane gas in the old offense this week, and we're just throwing haymakers at Northwest, and Coach Padgett had to do something to try and settle his defense down and get them back on the same page, and let's see how they respond here. Now, keep in mind, Rush Rollins, their field goal kicker, is out this week, so Kannapolis has got to be thinking getting it awful close if they're going to try a field goal, but they're thinking 6.
Lee to the air again, looking, plenty of time, going deep on the fade to Allison, and just off his fingertips, right in the corner, and they ran out of real estate down there.
I think Josh Lee made an adjustment on that one, Randy. I think he realized that he needed to give his receiver a little more time, and he kind of had a little hitch there and held it up for a second to try and throw downfield. Watch this. I think he's ready to let it go a little bit earlier, but realizes now that he did. Ooh, that was close.
That's dangerous. Those cleats just don't, that's not the kind of cleats you need on the track.
They don't grab on the pavement too well.
The incompleted pass stops the clock at 5:24 to go in the first half. The Wonders now with 2nd and 8.
Big play right now for the Northwest defense. Of course, Kannapolis converted, a 4th and 29 last time.
Send Carter in motion and go with King off the left side. Coming out of the backfield, flags are down. King down to the Northwest 23-yard line. Over there defensively was Justin Tedder for Northwest.
And let's see what the call is going to be. As we look at the replay coming back here, it's going to be against Kannapolis, and just nice execution, Randy. The Wonders, we talked about Northwest wanting to go with a lot of misdirection and shifting things around and keeping you off balance. Well, Kannapolis is doing that in spades tonight. However, yet another penalty is going to push him back.
They always send Carter in motion. That gives you that look there. They're going to hit him on the pitch. He's in almost full stride when he catches it. And then they come back with the fullback, King.
And Carter has 4.5 speed as well. That was one of the things that Coach Padgett told us about in the Headliners program. And now Northwest is going to decline, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, they said
And
they got a 4th and 29 and made it last time. We want to take the down away.
And the Wonders will call a timeout to decide what they want to do. They're kind of in that in-between zone, being at the 23-yard line. 5:16 to go in the first half. We'll take a timeout as well. Well, the Wonders do not have the kick team on. They're going to go for it here. 4th and 4 at the 23-yard line. There you see Josh Lee out of the shotgun. He's got King back there with him. He got everybody in a potential pass pattern right now. Don't be surprised if Lee takes off. Now he's going to hum it this time. He's got a man complete. That's Caldwell. First down at the 6-yard line. Maybe the 5. Boy, did he zip that football.
You couldn't even see Caldwell in there. I thought Lee was going toward the end zone, and suddenly popping up out of nowhere to make a nice catch was Eric Caldwell.
I said everybody was in the pass pattern except Coach Massey, I think, on that one.
Yeah, we found out Coach Massey's up on the roof for this game. He's not even on the sidelines. A lot of the coaches are starting to do that now.
It's a great view. You can see everything. First and goal, Wonders. Inside 5 minutes to go now. First half at the 6-yard line. Knocking on the door. Tall sweep out of the eye this time. Here comes flags and into the end zone. Touchdown, but that one might come back. Got to be a hold against the Wonders where the flag was dropped.
Yeah, it really was, Randy. And one of the battles we're looking at is Chad Tuttle, number 62, is having a big war with Marco Reed, number 76. And we don't know if that was the case this time, but it has been several times before this. But you could, well, they fire the cannon, but they don't realize it's going to be coming back here. Holding again is the call, and you could see that one plain as day as they were trying to sweep around to the side where the hold was. One of the Trojan defenders had broken loose, and the Kannapolis player couldn't pick up the number, had him from behind trying to hold him.
With the penalty back all the way to the 16-yard line. We watch it again.
See if you can pick it up right there. See that?
Yeah,
right in the middle of your picture. It looked like it was 26 guilty of the infraction that time for the Wonders. Brandon Glenn, the tight end.
So first down at the 16. Play fake, Lee under pressure. And a nice open field tackle at the 11-yard line by the Northwest defense. It was Dustin Abercrombie with only his second catch of the year. He is a big, big target, I want to tell you.
6'1", 242 pounds, and that is definitely a nice target for Josh Lee, who had Marco Reed breathing down his neck that time.
I got to say, right just inside the 12-yard line. So it's second and goal. Tight formation. One receiver out of your picture to the left. That's Allison. Little motion. Now Carter up the gut. Inside the 5. Touchdown, Kannapolis.
How many times have they run that play, Randy? They have been effective with that all night.
They send them all over the place. Motion here, motion there, and then just go right up the gut.
But it's Caldwell coming from that left side and then taking the handoff and cutting up the middle.
So Eric scores his 9th touchdown of the season.
Watch him
the
here.
Wonders.
Motion, fake, then come back in the middle with Caldwell, and he's off to the races. He has nice speed at 4.6.
And the kick is up. So far, the place kicking looking pretty good right now. Wonders lead it 14-0 with 4:06 to go. First half. Kannapolis kickoff is next. Well, the cheerleaders from A.L. Brown obviously having a lot to cheer about. That was an impressive drive by the Wonders as they kind of turned the wick up. It looked like they just opened the whole field up. Made Northwest defend it all.
This is a very important possession for the Trojans, Randy. Remember, they had the ball first, so Kannapolis will get it to start off the second half. The Trojans have to get some points on the board, or they're going to be in danger of really getting run out of here if they can't get something on the board early.
Anthony comes forward and gets a lot of air into it at the 8-yard line as Jackson. He nearly broke the last one. He won't this time. Boy, 2 guys crunched him at the 20-yard line. He gets away. The whistle did not blow down the sidelines. The kicker actually was the last guy there, but he was pushed out of bounds by a guy with some speed. Caught him from behind, Jason Brown.
And he made it almost to midfield, Randy. He just kept fighting and got loose.
He crunched, and I figured, well, he's down. Forward progress, but he squeezed through, and we'll watch that one again. yet, I'm sure.
The Wonder coverage just went completely around the wall and converged right on Jackson. They met him from both sides and sandwiched him, and he just kept working the legs and fought his way through.
Yeah,
Check it out here. Now, they've got him, don't they?
Yeah.
But he's still going, and they think, well, the play's over. No, it isn't.
There you go, till you hear the whistle.
And he ran out of bounds before anybody got to him, and now Northwest wants a timeout.
So they're in business here. They're on 47-yard line. 3:55 to go. Coach Paget, obviously a little distraught right there. Jimmy Gilruth to his over on the right as well, and they're going to come out and talk to the offense.
Now that'll leave them with only one timeout. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. And Northwest in good field position, their best start position of the game here. A nice effort there by Jackson to get them loose, but they have got to have some points.
And we know they've got quick strike capability as well. They're pretty much wide open. Ryan Woodham, they had, I guess, the advantage the first couple of series with the field position and was controlling the football game, and then bam, bam, bam.
I think part of the problem is a couple of times Northwest has gotten in pretty certain passing situations, and Kannapolis has made them pay when they know they're going to have to pass to get out of it.
47-yard line. Monty breaking out of the I formation, set up as a wing on the left with a single setback this time. And Woodham straight drop to the air. Over the middle, receiver in the seam, complete. First down to the Wonder 33-yard line. And a good catch by David Zach. D'Angelo Collins on the coverage that time. Zach with only his 5th catch of the year, so they maybe had Godwin covered up.
And nice, watch this, Woodham with a nice strike. He has some arm strength as well. And nice work there by Zach to find an opening in that Wonder defense. There were 3 guys in the vicinity, but not in that particular spot. And he just kind of drifted to the opening, and Woodham read him.
So they'll move the chains and break the formation with the single set now. The 33-yard line to Kannapolis. It's been a while since the Trojans have been this deep into Wonder territory. Roseboro with a good fake to the outside and lost his own footing at the 29-yard line. Had the block on the corner.
Yeah, he really did. Zach was out there, and he didn't put anybody on his back, but he got in the way enough to where Roseboro had some room there. And I'm sure Shelton is not too happy that he lost his footing because he saw daylight. Check it out here. Watch Zach on the outside, number 2, right there. And I think he tripped over Zach.
Yeah, could have. Jason Brown was there just in case, but pick up a 4, I think. At the 29-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Well, that's the second time Shelton has had trouble with one of his own guys.
These guys are making a lot of tackles on him. Here's Woodham. Almost going down. He will this time under the bear hug of Alex Steele, who really came in untouched that time. Steele, 5'9", 196 pounds, only a junior, showed us some quick speed that time.
Well, the problem was Woodham slips here. By the time he gets up, the defense has converged on him right there.
Boom.
And credit Duran Lipscomb with flushing Woodham there and making him try to have to step up. And here's another pretty sure passing down for Northwest.
Boys, Lipscomb just creates havoc in everybody's backfield. He may not get you, but somebody will.
Well, he's got 4.5 speed, and a guy with that kind of speed at a linebacker spot is really dangerous.
3rd and 13. Woodham flushed out of the pocket. Goes deep on the post. Tip incomplete. What a comeback. And keeping the touchdown away, D'Angelo Collins. That had 6 points all over at that time.
Well, that's why D'Angelo has 8 picks, Randy. He laid out. He had lost his man by a couple of steps. So watch him recover at the end of this play. Woodham sees Roseboro deep downfield, and D'Angelo just laid out and knocked that one away.
Oh, those good DBs lull you to sleep and can really make up the distance in a hurry.
Trojans, I believe, are going.
Well, minute 53, you still got plenty of time. If they don't get it, Kannapolis will have it at the 36-yard line, which is decent field position.
6 receivers.
Everybody's going out. Here comes the rush, a little screen set up. Monty shakes a tackle, but will not shake out of this one. Too many green shirts in the vicinity. Jason Brown with the stop.
Well, they had screen all the way. They had Monty over there on the right side, and he just kind of drifts beyond the line of scrimmage. They want to let the rush come in, throw it over their heads, but a nice play to slow it down in the middle initially by Alex Steele. He was the guy, although he won't get credit for the tackle, he was the guy who really broke that play up.
Another case of the defense bending but not breaking, and the Wonders with a couple of good defensive plays there to keep Northwest off the board.
Well, now they got a minute and a half.
And the way Lee's airing things out here.
And it looks like they're going to load up with about 4 receivers of their own here, the Wonders are.
You got Brown and Allison, 2 dangerous guys out of your picture there.
And the officials are saying, wait, we need a football. And now they bring one out so we can get going.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Well, the Wonders were ready to go, and they all looked around and said, wait a minute, we don't have a ball.
Well, get your Snickers bar. We might be here for a while, right?
We need a pigskin. We need a pigskin.
Lee, and that is incomplete. That was a forward pass trying to hit Caldwell, and just led him a little too far.
Boy, this is really a wide open offense tonight for the Wonders, Randy. They are just coming at them from all angles and mixing up all kinds of plays. Short plays, runs, deep passes.
Do you see some similarities with Coach Massey's calling what we see a couple of years ago with the Great Kings Mountain teams that he had up there?
Well, they had the Hillman kid, and they just pound you when he was at Kings Mountain.
But what I was saying is the motion backs and all that. And they had the experienced quarterback, too. Here they are kind of luring him in on the slice back. Allison, he's dangerous. Spinning, losing the football, and Northwest may have it. Big pile up. Northwest says we got it, and they do. And they have great field position again with a minute 21 to go.
Well, they definitely have to capitalize here, Randy. Kannapolis has given them a gift. They've got to take advantage of it. Let's see if we can see who pulls it loose. Watch this move by Allison right there. Great move. And then pulling it loose, I think, was at the end of that play, the guy who made the hit was Craig Weller to knock it loose, number 21.
And Dustin Wyatt, number 8, coming up with the ball. So Dustin over there. So Northwest with new life. It's still a good time to do something. Let's see if Kannapolis comes with a lot of folks here this time. They fake the blitz, and here they come. Lipscomb's got him all the way back at the 48-yard line of Northwest, untouched. Lipscomb sized him up and says, "You're not going to get away."
What a nice call by the Wonder defense, Randy. They fake the blitz in the middle, then they come with it. Now watch Roseboro pick it up. Unfortunately, that leaves this guy wide open to run down the quarterback, and as we mentioned, Lipscomb has some speed to chase down just about anybody.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to get in the foot race with him.
Woodham had Shelton Roseboro back there to stay in and block for him, and Roseboro read the blitz up the middle and did what he was supposed to do, picked up the linebacker, but there were too many green jerseys coming after his quarterback.
Just a case of addition and subtraction here. They're letting the clock run now with 35 seconds to go. Woodham. Oh, is he... that was Dwayne McClure. He never saw him coming. Lucky to hold on to the football.
No, he really never did see him, Randy. And Ryan Woodham is really taking a pounding right about now.
They were double teaming Lipscomb, you saw there, number 41, and that left a clear path for that young man, Mr. McClure, who is a 5'8", 164-pound junior.
They may not run a play. They may just want to get out of here and go in the locker room and regroup.
It has been Kannapolis turning up the Jets, especially here in the second quarter, and they are in command at halftime. They lead it 14-0. 14-0 our score here at Memorial Stadium. Getting set for the second half. Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane. Delighted you've joined us this week for our Metro 7 coverage. And boy, it was kind of strange in parts of it, and especially the first touchdown that the Wonders scored. It was 4th and forever.
and they punched it in. That was amazing. Let's take a look here and show you this touchdown. Now here's 4th and 29. The pump fake, and then Brandon Smith has it, but then Jackson and he collide, and it pops right into the hands of Maurice Edwards, who says, "Look what I found," and then coming back the other way, right up through the middle. Nice play, and they've been running that very effectively all night long is Chris Carter, and he's having himself a nice game tonight as well. He has some real speed.
And the Wonders defense turned it up a notch. The offense opened things up, and
boy, did they.
Really, if you're Coach Paget, what do you say to your troops at halftime, Woody?
Well, you got to get back to the way you started the game. Remember, Northwest came out, marched right down the field, got into the red zone, and then came up empty. And ever since that, Kannapolis really started to roll, especially when they started opening things up offensively, and it got Northwest back on their heels. The Trojans must have a stop here on this possession. They can't let Kannapolis march right down and score. They're going to be in deep trouble.
This is Jason Brown on the return, bumped and down at about the 32, 33-yard line. Well, Coach Paget told us Wednesday night, he said speed and quickness, and we saw that evidence with Kannapolis in the first half. Here's some look at some numbers, and you can tell the score, the difference, especially in the total yards.
Yeah, but look at the passing yards. Kannapolis had been primarily a run team, a good mix tonight, but 108 to 29 passing. And Northwest, we know how much they rely on the pass. That is a big, big key. And look at the penalties for both teams. You've got 77 yards in penalties between the two, but that passing stat is the amazing thing. Not so much that Kannapolis had 108, but that Northwest only had 29.
Toss this time. Here comes Chris Carter, and he'll go out across the 35 to the 37, knocked off his hands by Roland Hill. And interesting thing about it is we saw so much confidence, and Carter's limping a little bit as he a little gimpy here coming to the sidelines. I was talking to some of the folks at halftime, and they said the progression of that young man right there, Josh Lee, since maybe when we saw him in the South game, he's so much more confident, and he's having fun out there.
He really is, especially when he gets to play in an offense that is as wide open as the Wonder offense was in the first half. It's got to be fun for him.
It's 2nd down and 6 for Kannapolis. Just underway here in the second half. On the delay, and King busted to a 40-yard line. Will be short of the first down by a couple of yards.
Guess who?
Tackle, Roland Hill. He's everywhere tonight.
And here they come.
Just some great offensive line blocking tonight. They are doing the job, because Northwest is not a gimme when you fight those big guys in the trenches.
Good job on the tackle by Roland Hill, but not until Kannapolis had a nice gain out of it.
I mean, you got to get away from Reed and the likes.
Huge play here early in the second half for the Trojans. And they're showing blitz, but they don't come with it.
Here's Lee, keeps it, cuts it upfield. First down, hits back, and goes to the 49-yard line. There's that linebacker mentality coming in right there.
And yeah, you get an indication there of what a big, strong quarterback Josh Lee is. Remember, the former linebacker. Now watch this. Pow! Now you'd think he'd stop. No, sir. He goes forward again, and that is, as you mentioned, that linebacker mentality. You know, you got to be a big guy to really rock Josh Lee. He's, you know, you run up and pound him with some defensive backs or blitz him, and those guys just bounce off of him like BBs.
6'3", 210 pounds. He drops the ball, gets an opportunistic bounce, hops over one guy, gets back to the line of scrimmage. That was an interesting no-gain play there.
Well, it looked like one of the Trojan linemen kind of flipped coming through there, or he would have had a shot at Josh Lee. Somebody almost did a cartwheel, looked like, right there, 2 of them.
He's got quick feet too, hasn't he?
I'm telling you.
Actually, they say they're going to give him a yard on the play, just shy of midfield.
So that's amazing. He was able to make something out of that play.
We played 2.5 minutes here in the third quarter. And here we go to Brown. There it is again, Woody. The first down, Brown with an ankle tackle down at the 40-yard line of Northwest Cabarrus.
That's the play they haven't been able to stop.
That is their go-to play. Look at this.
The fake, come back up the middle with Brown, and all kinds of room for him to take off there. And that particular play has been the backbreaker for Northwest tonight. And now it looks like we're coming back. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be against the Wonders, and it's a big one.
Got to be a hold. You got guys pulling, you got guys sealing, you got guys doing this and this and this. And you're gonna get holding. There's been a lot called tonight.
Couldn't see the flag because all the officials were kind of huddled around it talking about the call, and when they moved, there it was. Well, so that's going to be. Let's see if we can pick up where the hold was. Couldn't tell there, but at any rate, it comes back, and that's what, 65 yards in penalties or 60 yards in penalties for the Wonders now?
They push him back now on second down, play fake, and whoop. King with nowhere to go, the center of that Northwest defensive front. Marco Reed showing his presence there, kind of spotlighting it there.
Well, that's like spotlighting a deer that time for Marco Reed, 280 pounds. Boy, that is like running into that wall down at the other end.
It'll bring up 3rd and long. All the way back to the Wonder 37-yard line. The line to make is the 42 of Northwest. Two receivers. Out of the gun. Lee with all day. And that one underthrown. I think he may have just thrown that one in the ground, Woody, because he saw everybody was covered that time. And Dustin Wyatt, really the closest guy of either team to the football.
I wonder if maybe one of the Wonder receivers was supposed to go to that spot and didn't, and then Josh just had to get rid of it.
That'll bring up 4th down, punting situation, and Anthony in. And there's the other number 3, Brandon Smith, back. So Northwest, with the help of a penalty, their defense able to keep the Wonders in check on their first series here in the second half. Not much pressure, and a line driver. This one will be returned. Smith at the 25. There's a block in the back. That'll come back. And still on his feet. Good return out to the 45-yard line. But that was an obvious. You can see that.
Right in the middle of your picture, David Zach with a big block in the back coming down there. I think it was D'Angelo Collins who was in the play right there, and that was just obvious. As you mentioned, Randy, and the official was standing right there too, and you heard the crowd roar. I don't think anybody in here missed that one.
Now, if they hadn't called that one, they would have really roared.
Yeah, it might have gotten kind of ugly. Somebody might have gone over there and got on the cannon on that one.
They'd have been coming off the perch over there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, another sellout, by the way, over there, Plummer's Perch this year. You got to get, it's kind of like those tickets are willed from generations to generation.
You got to get on the waiting list. So Northwest is going to start deep in their own territory.
All the way back to the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Their worst starting field position, I think, of the night in any series. Woodham gives it to Roseboro. And got maybe a yard.
He may get a better spot than that, Randy. Looked like he went forward a little bit before they shoved him back. But the key there at the end of the first half, where everything really started turning bad for Northwest, is Kannapolis kept getting them in situations where they knew Northwest was going to have to pass, and they just came after him with a jailbreak every time. And Woodham,
like the sharks smelling blood in the water, right? This time, 2 wide receivers from the eye. Move it to a slot on the right. And toss it. Here's Roseboro. Hemmed in. Goes to the outside. And too many green shirts. He got about 3, but great lateral pursuit that time by the Wonder defense. Lipscomb leading the way. The guy getting off that pile. There you see number 9.
Collins. Now watch him blow somebody up here on the block. They're trying to block right here, and D'Angelo, you couldn't really tell it there, but he just fought right through the block and drove the guy backwards.
I think our camera guy was almost in on that tackle too.
That's Rob Stuck down there. He's our young intern, and he moves pretty quick. He can get out of the way.
Rob still got a feel for the game.
Yeah. And Lanny's down there protecting him, so he'll be all right.
Lanny has not got a penalty thrown on him all year for blocking in the back.
Well, we still got some time.
3rd down. Woodham to the air. And he's got a receiver complete up near the 30-yard line. That's Godwin, and he is just really shellacked after he called the football.
And he's trying to get the Northwest fans into the game a little bit there, and he was absolutely wide open that time, Randy. Shorter drop that time for Woodham. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, and throw. And he has room on the little slant there to Godwin, and they really haven't looked at Godwin a whole lot here in the game so far.
Now the Wonders have had him, obviously got to respect that threat. He's only a 2nd catch of the night. Gives him 37 on the year. And he's got 4 touchdown passes to go with all those other stats for you. Well, a quick 3rd quarter. We're halfway through. 6 minutes to go. And Mooney has got some room. 8-9 yards to the 39-yard line. Wonders catching Jason Brown over there defensively.
And Monty's been pretty successful the couple of carries he's had tonight, Randy, but they've primarily gone with Roseboro as
hey, there's those guys.
There's the Nutties. We're over there at what game was it where they had the sleeper sofa down on the sidelines? Remember that? I forget which game that was, but that's something you don't often see.
Second and short, just shy of the 40-yard line. They'll shift it out and have a lone setback. And Woodham working the play clock. Calls his number and leaps over the line. We'll have the first down, I believe, depending on the spot. Be close. I think he's got enough for it as they unpile. We got the chain crew in early in this game, so they only are required by contract to have one more official visit here at the game.
And you saw big old 75 there, Lee Basinger climbing up off the bottom of the pile. As we mentioned, he's headed to the Shrine Bowl, and what a fine year he's had. 6'1", 232-pound senior.
And one of those guys you say, well, the linemen, they don't get all the pub. Well, if he wasn't there, there'd be a lot of things going wrong for that Wonder defense. He's been a steady performer. And the handoff, an open field is Roseboro, and it's a foot race. Cutting to the outside, tracked down from behind at the 29-yard line. D'Angelo Collins with his speed, able to keep him and catch up with him and keep him really maybe out of the end zone.
And you know, Randy, Roseboro is a guy who has some pretty good speed, but watch the Kannapolis secondary just converge on him. Watch all the green shirts right there. And there you got linemen running up down there trying to get into that play, but Northwest has some new life here, looking pretty good offensively right now.
I think Durant Liscombe thinks like he gets cheated if he don't get in on every tackle. Big play there, rushing the football. They caught the Wonders with a hole up the middle and are in business at the Kannapolis 29-yard line.
Monty.
And again, it's Monty. He'll go for 9 yards down to the 20. Jason Brown on the tackle for the Wonders with 4 minutes to go, third period.
Well, that's one way to take some of the heat off your quarterback.
Yeah, you establish the run, that sets the pass up. Boy, things run so much smoother, don't they?
Yeah, and the big key is you can't get into sure passing situations. That's when Kannapolis has really been making hay on the Northwest offensive line. When they've got Northwest bottled up into a sure passing situation, Kannapolis has been deadly.
Using all the play clock is Woodham. Well, that one looked like it was going to go nowhere, but actually getting about 2 yards is Monty. The second effort got him inside the Wonder 20-yard line. Maybe a missed exchange there. Let's see. Just some good penetration on the ground. Who is that guy?
I think that's Basinger who got through there, but he's the guy. If it wasn't him, whoever it was broke it up. I think that was the side that Lee started on. So
he's laying flat on his back, or the guy on top of him, and he still gets enough of the ball carrier to slow him down. That's hard.
We'll credit him with that one until somebody tells us different. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the quarter. You're right, Randy. It's flown by.
Third and less than a yard. Would have called his number last time on short yardage. Almost got the Wonders to jump. And Monty's got it down to the 15-yard line. He had the first down and then some.
I thought they were reaching for a flag there for a second, but you're right, Randy. They almost jumped indeed, but there's Monty making the play and getting the first down.
Woodham, the experienced senior quarterback, he's thrown for over 1,000 yards. Hitting better than 50% of his passes this season. So,
what a difference in halves, Randy. Northwest has come out and decided to play smash mouth. What, one pass on this drive?
Yeah. So the run sets up the pass. Let's see if they go to the air here on first down. No, don't break it. It ain't. Don't fix it. It ain't broke. It kind of broke down a little bit that time. The Wonder pursued in there defensively for really no gain on the play. Roseboro looking for something up the middle, and it was just not there.
Well, he had to dodge somebody right at the line of scrimmage, and then the rest of the Wonder defense converged on him as Woodham comes back in after getting the play from the sidelines.
Inside 2 minutes to go, and running third quarter. sets. And Woodham calls his own number, and he faked the handoff. And, well, they're still going, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it was pushing way downfield there. Looked like Brad Carpenter had a block on. I couldn't tell if it was Lipscomb, but one of the wonders was getting blocked way downfield. See if we can pick up 53 at the end of this play. Right here. See that? He just took somebody onto the house there.
That coach will be seeing. He'll grade out good on the films.
Yeah, on that one he will. He did his job.
Big play here, third down. And the fans are on their feet here at both sides. Well, actually all around the stadium tonight. Overflow crowd. 3rd and 6. Woodham to the air. Looks in zone. Godwin. Touchdown, Northwest. Godwin never took his eyes off the football, Woody, and just stepped in front of the defensive back.
And nice play call by the Northwest coaches. Woodham had that one up in the air before Godwin ever really turned around, and he just knew where the ball was going to be and out-leaped the defender to bring it in. Watch this. Throw. And nice move to the inside there to get around the defender by Joe Godwin. And that for him is touchdown number 5 on the year.
And he's 6'2", and that doesn't hurt either. And that's a smaller flag than what we saw in some of the schools this year.
That's the road flag. They got the big one at home.
Extra point is up. And off the toe of Matt Crutchfield. And the Trojans have got back into this game. 47 seconds to go in the 3rd period at Memorial Stadium. 14-7 Wonders. As we come back to Overflow Memorial Stadium, Woody and I were just sitting here thinking each team had the ball about 6 minutes. Well, yeah, but you know, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. Each team's only had the ball one time in the 3rd quarter. You know, what are you going to do on your 6-minute possession?
Yeah, if that's all you get, we've got 2 more possessions left in the game.
I think that will change. As Crutchfield making sure he's got the right angle, the 5'11" junior ready to kick it back to Kannapolis. This is Squibber. And Brown at the 20. Zigzags, cuts to the outside, and oh, is he a tough young man. Out to the 41-yard line goes Jason Brown, the 5'8", 178-pound senior.
Oh, we've seen Jason Brown make tough plays for a long time. Now watch this again. See, that's the difference, Randy. In the first half, Northwest kept getting in sure passing situations. That was pretty much a passing situation, but the difference was the 2 pass plays on that drive, 3-step drops for Ryan Woodham. In the first half, he was trying 5- and 7-step drops a lot of the times, especially when they had 3rd and very long, and Kannapolis was just all over it.
The Wonder offense really calling the play on the sideline. They're just now out on the field and lining up here with 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Out of the shotgun, Josh Lee will hand it off, and here's Caldwell with a hold. He's got 10, 15 yards, maybe, out of bounds of the Northwest 45. Well, there come the Wonders back.
And you show that shotgun, Randy, the defense naturally thinks pass, but then here comes Caldwell, and a great block there at the line of scrimmage to open up the hole by Ron Anthony, number 55. He did a great job there on getting one of the Northwest defensive linemen out of the way.
He's only 5'6", 224. Another one of those low to center gravity guys. And they pretty much, well, they fake the same play, and Lee takes off with it. Almost leaped over a guy and will be near a first down. He could go into the high hurdles here, I think, of the track team.
Josh Lee may have more carries tonight than he has had all year, but he's making the most of them. Watch this. Good fake.
He almost got over that.
Yeah, he did. If he gets out here on the track and works on his hurdles a little bit, he might have had a touchdown there. And they're just short, less than a yard of the first down.
We're going to wait and see if they, okay, yep, that is officially the end of the 3rd quarter here at Memorial Stadium. We've got a game, 14-7. Kannapolis over arch rival Northwest. As we come back to Memorial Stadium, we're ready for the 4th period. I say the 4th quarter. We've had 3 straight overtimes. That guy's got catbird seat, isn't he?
Best seat in the house. They use that for the coaches' films, and you can see everything from there. If somebody's eating a bad piece of popcorn up in row 43, you can tell from there.
Here's Lee on the play fake. Pressure over the middle and dropped. And Anthony wanted to run with it before he made sure he had a good grasp on the football.
And it's fortunate for Northwest because he was wide open. Lee got a little pressure that time, but stood in there and delivered the ball.
Not a bad play call, though. It was 2nd and 1, so now you come back on 3rd in the yard. At the Northwest, just outside the 35-yard line. Allison splits to the top. Brown and Anthony are wide to the bottom for the Wonders. Caldwell, the setback, and it'll be Lee optioning off to Caldwell. Oh, I don't know. There's a flag. I think he got just to the necessary yardage for the first down, but it could come back, and illegal shift. Well, easy for me to say, an illegal shift.
And it will come back. And the Wonders, Randy, are really struggling with the penalties tonight. And, you know, we mentioned earlier how wide open their offense is tonight. Not that they've been conservative this year, but, I mean, my gosh, you're running the quarterback on bootlegs. You're running draws. You're running shotgun. You're using halfback passes. And, I mean, my goodness, they have definitely thrown everything, including the kitchen sink at Northwest tonight.
I don't like it. I don't like a wide
open football.
See, the last couple of weeks we've seen this grind, you know, and all this drama, tension, and now this one just wide open, up for grabs, indeed. Lee buying some time, pumps again. Now we'll just have to hit for the sticks, and there could be a flag there. I don't know.
Well, we couldn't see where his feet were over on the sidelines, and you hear the boos on this side. The Kannapolis fans on the same side we are, and they couldn't tell either, but the officials were right there on top of it. None of them reached for the flag. So Josh Lee wanted to throw that thing about 3 times. Now they're saying there is a flag down. Or are they? No, they're not.
And Tom Broach, he just went with ball in play, and it's ready to go. Now the Wonders
look like they're going to punt.
Well, they had Anthony on, and now they look at it as 4th and 2, and now Lee comes back in, and they're going for it.
All right.
Tight formation here. Toss sweep around the right side, and Northwest will stop them this time. Chris Carter nowhere to go that time.
Credit Philip Jackson, Randy. He and Roland Hill broke that play up, but Jackson the first guy there.
And it gives Northwest pretty good field position at the 38-yard line with 11:14 to go. Boy, has the pendulum swung here the last couple of minutes now.
And that's no small task, Randy, because Chris Carter has 4.5 speed, and all he wants to do is get to the corner and take a couple of steps. But right there, Jackson slowed him up, and Hill came to finish.
Good lateral pursuit by the Northwest D. And Woodham and the Viking offense, or excuse me, the Northwest offense, a little confidence now after that touchdown last possession. Will go up the gut, off the right side. Ball is loose, and who's going to get it? Kannapolis at midfield recovers. The Monty fumble.
Couldn't see who stripped it, but let's see what the officials say.
They're still fighting for it.
They got it. Kannapolis has it. And it looks like Jason Brown may have a cramp down there. He was the last guy in the pile.
Let's get a chance to see just that extra effort. Really, you can't fault that. Well,
Jason Brown, the guy pulled it loose, and he may have been the guy to recover it as well. And look at Lee Basinger making sure that Monty isn't going to get the ball.
Nobody got that. And right now, slow to get up.
They're checking out his knee area, but he was acting like it might have been a cramp. Let's see.
Looks like they're working on it like it's a cramp. A big break there just when Northwest had a little momentum going back the other way. The Wonder defense comes up with a takeaway. We have 11:02 to go in the 4th period. Back in just a minute. Situation for Northwest Cabarrus. Kannapolis should get great field position here as they will peel for the return. What a kick. Driving Brown back to the 45. What a block. Brown down sidelines. The wall is set up. Brown cuts it inside the 10, 5, touchdown. And a flag is down at about the 20-yard line, but that was a thing of beauty. Everybody, all the X's covered the O's that time, Woody.
And credit, I think it was Chris Gibson with a great block right at the initial point of attack, and this one's coming back. And that wasn't the problem, as you mentioned. The problem was much further downfield. And the official's going to tell us about it right now. Clip.
Well, he was zigging and zagging there, so it's hard sometimes, but nullify the touchdown, take 6 off the board, moved it with the penalty back to the Northwest 34-yard line is where the Wonder offense will come onto the field with 5:37 left.
And now the officials are stopping the play for something. I think one of the Wonders has an equipment problem they're wanting him to fix before they go. Now they're ready. What a bullet dodge by the Trojans there.
Caldwell.
Did he fumble?
Nah, I think he just got lowered the shoulder there.
A couple of guys dove in there like they thought maybe the ball was loose.
Caldwell, with, as we said, over 600 yards, 9 touchdowns on the season. He's been the main ball carrier. Carter, or he should say he has the most carries, but Carter,
well, you know,
king of shared duties as well.
We got to give Carter a little break. He's only getting about 13 yards per carry, so.
Edwards is in motion. He'll get the pitch. And a block on the corner, and that's got to be a hold or illegal use of the hands or something. That was ugly, and that'll come back.
Boy, Kannapolis is just piling up the penalty yardage right now.
I think our statistician, Steve Gant's running out of paper. 10 penalties so far for 85 yards. That don't count this one.
Right, so make that 11 for 95. And you got to say it, Randy, if Kannapolis doesn't hold on to win this game, penalties are going to be a big reason why.
There you see, you got him in the back. Back to the 41-yard line with a penalty.
Well, you know, it's just a shame to see either team lose a game like this because they have both just played with such emotion and such heart.
Oh, this has been a great one. And they'll go to Edwards. And he's on the counter, and he's got counter about 10, 12, 15 yards that time.
Amazing. It again looked like he was stacked up at the line of scrimmage, Randy, and just kind of stutter-stepped his way through. Check him out here. We got him on isolation for you. Right there, it looks like they've got him, but he just keeps finding a seam.
And you notice he's got both hands on the football, so he's protecting that pigskin because Northwest getting kind of late right now. 4 minutes, 5 seconds left in the 4th period, and they need the football down by 7. Haven't had good field position here in the 4th period.
Well, they did on the one play, but then gave it right back.
Exactly. Allison. And Bickerstaff for the wideouts. Wonders obviously attempt probably to keep it on the ground here. And they'll give it to Carter. And he shakes 2, shakes 3, down the sideline, stays in bounds, and a touchdown. That was pretty.
My goodness. And at least 3 Northwest Trojans had a good shot at him and didn't get him down.
Chris Carter, the 5'8", 140-pound junior, showed you some determination on that run.
Just kept fighting through tackles, Randy, and Northwest. Boy, they had all kinds of shots at him and just didn't get him on the ground.
And it gives the Wonders a 13-point lead with 3:35 left. And that might be the backbreaker for the Trojans. For Carter, his 10th touchdown on the season. Henry, the extra point guy, has been perfect, and he stays that way. So he is 3 for 3 in that category. 21-7, Wonder kickoff coming up. As we we return to Memorial Stadium, Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane and Chris Carter may have put the Wonders into the playoffs with that beautiful run just moments ago. And right now the work is cut out for Northwest. They not only need one score, they need two, and they only have 3:35 to do it. So,
and then again, this puts them in a situation where they know they're going to have to throw.
And they will go deep this time. Jackson fields at the 9. He's looking for a wall to set up, and the Wonders kick team on the spot that time down at the 25-yard line goes Jackson.
Let's take a look again at the touchdown, and you'll see coming back toward the right side is Carter. Now watch how many Northwest players have a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and none of them can get it.
Had the field been about 6 inches narrower, he would have been out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Good job of walking a tightrope down the sidelines there and keep his balance.
I guess if you wore size D shoes instead of C.
Yeah.
So Northwest 75 yards away.
The officials have stopped play here for some reason. Don't know what that situation is, but now I think we're ready.
I bet you Coach Massey's reminding his troops. He says, guys, we were in this situation just a couple of weeks ago against West Rowan where we had a 12-point lead with about this much time to go.
Here's that 6 receiver set, Randy.
They throw it out, and this will be incomplete. Trying to hit Brandon Smith, who was wide open out in the flat there. They widened the field of those 6 receivers, but actually 2 of those guys are
have to
technically
stay. Right.
they're line up.
Ineligible, and they've got to stay in. What they're trying to do is drop back as if they're going to get a lateral to see if they can make the Kannapolis defensive backs charge in on it and then have an open seam behind them. Now keep an eye on this. They're doing it again. Now, one of these guys on each side has to stay back.
You just don't know which one. Now to Smith. Now they're going to give the option pass. He gets away from one guy, goes deep, and this one could be picked. Charlie Fox will get it. Back play in center field. That is his 5th interception of the year, and that just might do it at the 36-yard line. One receiver only in the vicinity, and Brandon Smith just overthrew it.
Yeah, and Brandon Smith had to fight for a long time to get open enough to deliver the ball. Now the fans are booing something here. Let's see what the situation's going to be. As you see Fox getting his 5th pick, as Randy mentioned. I don't know what the booing is about. Kannapolis does have the ball according to the officials, but maybe they didn't like the spot. I don't know.
He was down. Now Kannapolis, you know, they're not going to put it in the air. Josh Lee probably going to give it that. They got Dale King back in there at the running back slot. Guess what? Dale King got the football.
Oh, and he didn't like it much because Marco Reed was standing right there.
No gain on the play.
Watch this. Marco Reed right there says no siree.
Boy, had he been a joy to watch this year. He's only a junior. Didn't see him back. He's 280 this year. 6'2". He might grow a couple more inches and put on 20 more pounds. Boy, get a little faster next year.
That'll be nasty.
Well, Watson's 3'10". He's a junior. Covered ain't bare, I'll tell you that. They fake the toss and they give it once again to a guy who scored the touchdown. There's a late flag. Carter down at about the 34-yard line. That's just frustration there, Woody.
Yeah, Marco Reed broke through to make the tackle again, but I think the penalty's going to be on that guy, Dustin Wyatt. Let's see. Here comes Marco Reed, 76, right there, and then late, leading with the head, and that's a definite no-no both ways, is Dustin Wyatt, and that's going to give the Wonders a first down after 2 nice defensive plays by Northwest.
Last year's score, 21-7 Kannapolis. They scored a touchdown late in the game to open it up a little bit, get a little breathing room, and it's almost a repeat performance here.
Check it out again. The bad thing about this is, Randy, is Marco Reed's already gotten him down. I mean, that was absolutely unnecessary. The play was over.
With a penalty, they'll have the first down after their 49-yard line. And King has the football, and he got about 2 as we go inside 2 minutes in this contest. Northwest obviously got to stop them running the football. You got a couple of timeouts left, but no sense using them if they're going to get.
And now they do use it.
1:44 to go in the ball game. Northwest with a timeout.
And don't forget, we're not done. We got another big game coming up next week.
Oh yeah, that thing they call the bell game, isn't it?
Yeah, that little old game that not many people are interested in. There you go. Next week, Concord takes on Kannapolis. Right cheer.
You remember a couple of years ago when the game was up here, the fire marshal closed the gates at halftime, wouldn't let nobody else in.
Yeah, and don't forget now, Wednesday night, get your questions ready for headliners. Ron Massey and E.Z. Smith will be live in the studio talking X's and O's for this game.
And if you're one of the lucky callers, you get to talk to the coaches. I was getting ready to say, we're not giving away anything big, are we?
Not that I know of.
Okay, all right. No cars, no cash, no cruises.
Not yet. That'll be for a future game. We'll have to save that for the playoffs, maybe.
And speaking of the playoffs, the Wonders are 144 away from locking up a spot in the playoffs. And for Northwest Cabarrus, they will see their playoff hopes dashed this season as they'll go to their third loss in the conference. And you hate to see anybody not stay home.
Josh Lee's having problems getting everybody lined up where they're supposed to be. Now he gets Jarrell McCray into the right place.
And he's got one guy back there as a safety in case something happens strange. And they'll just keep it next to best.
And Northwest is going to use another timeout.
With 1:36 to go, they'll stop the clock. And we'll keep it here. Yeah, it will not be for the conference championship as it was, it seemed like, for the last 100 years between Kannapolis and Concord, but it will be for a playoff position.
Yeah, and what a magical run this year by West Rowan. They, had the Francis kid whose sister was on the ship that got bombed, and just a tremendous story the way that team has come together. They stormed back in the closing minutes to beat Kannapolis, and then the Francis kid had, 18 tackles against Concord in that game?
Oh yeah, just
amazing.
And of course our sincere wishes and thoughts go out to that family as well. And West Rowan could be a thing that just fires them up for the rest of the year. Of course, they had a pretty good team coming in with a lot of talent. I think 8 defensive starters back, and that's been their catalyst this year. With some pretty good athletes. Kannapolis huddling the wagons here. Now Josh Lee calls a timeout.
All right, things have ground to a halt.
We'll step away and be back for the conclusion here in just a minute. Some of the fans starting to file for the exits.
There's a police officer down there. Looks awful lonely way back there by himself.
He's kind of like a Maytag repairman down there. Lee will keep it on the bootleg. He's trying to outrun 4 white shirts, and there's a face mask. Yeah, that was definitely intentional.
They pulled him down by the helmet, and he has the first down anyway. Look at this. Naked bootleg for Josh Lee, and they're trying to get him down there and just pull him down by the helmet.
So he'll tack on a few more yards off of that. Well, Wonders' record will go to 9-1, and more importantly, 6-1 in the SBC. For Northwest, their record overall drops to 6-4 and 4-3 in the conference. And that sets up another thriller next week between the Wonders and the Spiders. You're talking about Shrine Bowl, guys. It's great to have 3 out of the same conference, same area team. Central Cabarrus into the Stephen Knorr lineman. And then you got E.Z. Smith from Concord, and then you got Lee Basinger over Kannapolis. So obviously the Shrine guys are looking at those
They're watching the trenches, no doubt.
Going for the big guys.
And Kannapolis is going to take as much time off the play clock as they can before snapping the ball.
And he'll take a knee.
And Josh Lee did the smart thing there. He didn't just duck and cover. He touched the knee and then got up and got out of there, because you never know who's going to fall on you.
This time of the game is where you can have those silly injuries.
And Northwest burns their last time out.
1:01 to go. There's a Smitty down there.
Well, now, I guarantee you he's got a stat book, doesn't he?
That thing, he's probably got just volumes of that. Thank goodness.
Well, it's a shame. You can see the disappointment in Coach Glenn Padgett's body language there, but what a fine asset to Northwest Cabarrus that guy's been. I mean, last year they make it to the 3rd round of the playoffs, battle their way back and fight their way into the playoffs and then do some damage once they get there. And
then lose to Concord,
who they had already beaten in the regular season.
Similar to also where Kannapolis had lost to Concord. Kannapolis had won in the regular season. Everything just flip-flopped in the playoffs, it seemed like.
Well, the program at Northwest is in good hands, no doubt.
Lee with another knee. Northwest is out of timeouts. They cannot stop the clock. For Northwest, you would think they would be favored to win their seasonal finale next year, or next week at Piedmont. That would put their record at 7-4, which we'll take it every year.
Piedmont's getting a little better, but I think Northwest is going to go down there with a little bit of an attitude and probably lay one on them. Piedmont, has Coach Jester, who came over from Independence, and they're getting better, but I don't think they're ready to stop Northwest Cabarrus right now.
I tell you, Glenn Paget's been fun to be with on the TV show and the interviews and everything. Glenn, thanks a lot. All the Northwest Cabarrus people, thanks a lot. They'll be back. That'll be the last play of the game. The Wonders will win it tonight, 21-7. They led it 14-0 at halftime. Late Chris Carter touchdown really put some distance between them and Northwest Cabarrus as the teams will meet at the center of the field, and not a lot of people left this game early tonight. We'll be back with some post-game comments and interviews after this. (21-7) our final score. Kannapolis a hard-fought win tonight over Northwest Cabarrus High School. Let's go field side. Here's Woody Cade.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Well, Coach, not a whole lot of points on the board, but, man, your offense was wide open tonight.
Well, they're a great football team. A lot of to Coach Paget Northwest, they played a great football game tonight. We knew we were going to get their best shot. I was real proud of our kids. I tell you, we came together a little bit the last couple of weeks as a team, and I thought we had a lot of adversity on penalties in the first half. We could have folded a 10, we could have dropped our heads, but I was so proud of our kids because they found a way to make plays. They kept playing hard, and they made some plays when they had to, and I'm just so proud of them for that. And our coaching staff did a great job preparing the kids, I thought. I thought defensively, we kept them at bay. The first series, they drove it down. We made some adjustments, and I thought they did a great job.
Well, they did show you a lot of different looks in the first half there, but toward the end of the first half, boy, your defense really just came alive and just shut everything down.
Yeah, like I said, they did a great job. Very proud of them. And offensively, when we had the opportunity, we were able to stick it in, and we did what we had to do to win, and that's the mark of a good football team a lot of times. And we've got a big one next week, and this gives us a little bit of breathing room, knowing that now we've got the playoff berth. So I'm looking forward. I've never had the experience of playing in the Bell game, and I told the kids, it's exciting because it's two great schools and two great communities coming together to something that's very special to high school athletics.
Well, one thing's for sure, Coach. Next week you guys are going to sell a lot of hot dogs.
Well, I hope we sell a lot of everything.
Okay, Coach, congratulations on a fine win, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, let's go back upstairs to Randy.
Okay, thanks, Woody. Ron might be his first Concord-Kannapolis game, but he's going to get an education in the next week, that's for sure. Let's take a look at some final numbers for you. There you see the Wonders on the right side with their the rushing and the passing combination. Northwest Cabarrus picked up the stats a lot in the second half, made it a game, but the turnover is a big part, especially the after Northwest had stopped Kannapolis, got within 7, and then fumbled the ball at midfield. That seemed to be the old momentum swing, and then the Wonders able to stick one in late. Penalties, obviously a big problem for both teams tonight, and always come at the wrong situation. Well, as we said, it's the Bell game, and I know you'll join us Wednesday night for headliners. We'll have E.Z. Smith and Ron Massey in our studio, Kannapolis and Concord, our Metro 7 game of the week next week. For Steve Gant, Woody Kane, and the entire Metro 7 production staff, Randy Whitley saying thanks for being with us.